That's strong. Should you join me in my matchbox kitchen? Let me sit this to pop my phone up a little bit low. Got my earpiece in. I gotta clean this off because I gotta mix up my sea moss. That's supposed to be indeed. Now I gotta hang my curtain back up. It's cold. What's up? I gotta do my sea moss. What's going on, Pepper? I gotta add people back. Just I went around and I went and removed all of them. I ain't gonna lie. And I was like, well, I ain't been having no issues, so it was just that one mishap. So okay. I gotta clean this thing off. Anyway, so I supposed to blend this sea moss up a while ago. I ain't done it yet. It's been soaked and ready. It's not salty or nothing. I went and set it in the fridge, but I'm gonna let it sit out for a little bit right quick. But this blender. Anyway, so honey, let me tell you something. It is so crazy. How you can be in a place and you supposed to be doing what you supposed to be doing, and you actually placed there to do something way bigger. Oh, you do? You know what? I got it from the international store that's close to me. Um, and I just basically soaked it, child. I've been soaking so long. It's not a bad thing, but I gotta go see a relative tomorrow. And they asked me for some. And I ain't made it yet. But I'm going to go ahead and have it ready for them when I go see them. But yeah. So yeah, I got the little container, all that there. So it's already been soaking for a long time. So I normally have it in like when I do buy it, I normally leave it and store it inside of one of these jars. That way it keeps the moisture out of the jars. Now I do have one I'm being grown, and this one is not inside of a jar. But I have like two jars, so my other one is further back. I can't reach it right now. But this is the sea moss that I got. And I got this one from the international store that's close to me. So, it's salty, it's in its original state. It has to be clean and all of that fun stuff. But I always keep me some. And I just haven't blended it in a while. And I have like my little jars and stuff that I hand out. Because like some of my family members, you know how like a lot of people have different ailments and diseasements, I just say it like that they remember how beneficial it was to them. So they just ask, hey, you got some more of that? I'm like, yeah. Or either I'm like, no, I ain't got none. But I got to blend it up. And I need to make sure my blender is nice and, the way I, up to par. And I'm using a Ninja. But yeah. Oh yeah, so I was in a place. But I was was just minding my business, doing what I was supposed to do for that particular day. Honey, I done messed around and walked myself into a situation where I had no choice to get a little further involved and call APS. And the sad part is the person did not have any family, and their health and their condition had declined so much that I'm just looking like, oh my gosh, how in the world were they able to sit around and go through this alone? It was really, really sad. But I was just out minding my business. And yeah. So I don't like how the outside of it look. I guess it don't matter about the outside as long as you get the inside right, huh? But anyway, so I got my little I had this one for probably about 4 years now. Got my little ninja. But like I said, everything is already you can see how it's solidified in here. That's how the gel basically starts to form. But I'm gonna put this in here the way it is. Um, I should have set it back in the fridge, but because normally what happens, it don't look like this, and it's basically it already solidified with the water in there. So it's better. It's better to clean it in a good quality water. So you don't just want to put it on if you don't have the best water system or whatever, so you have to blend it. Yeah, so basically what happens is it's very salty, right? So what you have to do is you put it under some water and you wash it really, really good to try to get as much of the salt out of it naturally, right? So a lot of people, they'll have like a gallon of spring water or distilled water or whatever type of bottled water, just not in no tap water. Okay, so then you would take that and you would pour it on it and let it sit and soak overnight, right? So when I let it sit and soak, I generally would get a lime, cut the lime in half and squeeze the lime in there, right? Because the lime helps cut the salt and clean it even more. So you leave it in there, or leave it out, let it soak, like a little plastic container, like I just had it. One of these, if I'm not mistaken, I have a video somewhere. But anyway, sit it to the side, and then the next day, what you're gonna do? Don't leave the limes in; just put the juice in there, right? So the next day, you can pour that off. Now, me, I've done it for a long time. I like to go and taste it. Like I'll take a little piece of it off and taste it to see if it is not real salty anymore. So after I do that, if it's still salty, I go ahead and add that distilled water to it again, let it soak some more because it still needs a little bit more time. And once it's not salty, that's when I can go ahead and then I can take that same distilled spring, whatever type of water you use, not tap water, and go ahead and blend it. Because the thing is, it has to, because it basically softens it up. Because you can see the other piece the regular piece I showed you, it's kind of tough. So it softens it up. So when you go and blend it and you add the water, it's easier for it to, create a gel. Now, if it's too cold and if the texture is not right, it's not going to blend right. And I learned that through experience. So I'm getting ready to blend. I'm going to turn it off because I don't want it to be loud in your ear. Okay, because that thing can get real loud. I mean, I hear it, but you know, I don't want y'all to be like, Lord, she got it loud. That thing playing in my ear. So I'm just getting my little jar tops ready. I can I have one. Yeah, well, I have two different jars. A lot of times I use this, and this is like a little simple 8-ounce jar. If I do give it to somebody, I'm not crying about not getting it back. These not the ones I really do a lot of canning in. So I mean, I do need them back because I can make jams and stuff, but it ain't gonna it ain't gonna hurt me if I don't get it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna test it out. It seems pretty consistency. Everything is there. I'm gonna blend it one more again. Yes, one more again. I'm gonna do it on a one, and then it's gonna be ready to go. My bad. Okay, so that's done. I take that off. Move my little blender. Ooh, sit it right there. I told y'all I ain't got a whole bunch of counter space, child. So when I pour it, you're gonna see the consistency that it needs to be. It's kind of thick, but it's basically a gel, and it's good enough for you to just go ahead and get your little spoon to use it. Or if you want to take it up a notch, you can add a fruit to it, drop a little bit of like agave or something in there. Some people don't like the taste, but if you get all the salt and everything out of it, it's really not a taste. It doesn't really taste like anything. So and yep. You just gotta, it's just steps to learning how to clean it good. Once you clean it, blending it is very easy because you just gonna, look for that consistency. And honestly, I don't even have enough to fill up this other one, so I'm just gonna leave it there. But like I said, I have had a lot of people, come around and say they needed it for certain things, and this little one right here is gonna be mine. And I'm actually going to take me some right now. That way I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about being sick right about now. Um, and I ain't gonna lie, from time to time, baby, I gotta have me a soda. So, um, having my sea moss is very forgiving. So again, this is my personal one right here. So I'm gonna drop this in here. Like it's about to drop. But anyway, so you can see the consistency of it. That's why they call it a gel, because it basically congeals. And once you let it sit in the fridge, it'll really, really solidify even more. So you can actually put it in your food, mix it into your yogurt if you really just don't. Because some people have texture issues. Some people are like, I ain't eating that, and that's cool. This one is clean, very, very good. It's clean, very good. So this is mine. Let me make sure I separate mine from theirs. So my stash is put up, but they can get this one. And generally, you're supposed to refrigerate it for up to 3 weeks. So it's good for 3 weeks. And also, sometimes I make them in like the little plastic jars with the black tops that I have. When I don't have any extra jars. So just think about something, at home, an extra jar, extra something that you have that you can. Yeah, I gotta clean this thing out. But yeah, I had this sea moss. They asked me, and when they asked me, oh, I went ahead and soaked it and everything. But and the funny, like you know what? One time I actually made it, and it was a guy friend. That like to play in my face often. So I made him some, and I left a lot of the salt in there. I just soaked it. So when he got it, it ain't taste good. So that's how I got him back. But anyway, this was not salty. I ain't trying to get nobody back on anything like that. But that was because he liked to play in my face all the time. Anyway, yep. So again, you can use an old pickle jar. Take this stuff out of here. You can use an old pickle jar. You can pretty much use anything that you have to make it work for you. But yeah, that's about it. I went ahead and made my little sea moss for today. Oh yeah, let me finish telling my story. So I gotta sit down and tell the story. And I know a lot of people like, I don't come over here to hear this is and the third. Girl, this real life. If you don't want to hear it, I give you, the time right now. Go ahead and scooch away. But for the professional people that have actually worked in tough fields, you are used to hearing crazy stories. Those are some. I do get people up here that are okay with that. Like I'm talking about the professional ladies. I'm talking about the office girlies. I'm talking about the nurse girlies. I'm talking about the people that have worked in the trenches in the counseling world. Those are the people that should stay around for this story. Because generally, those are the people that sometimes, well, not sometimes, they generally have the solutions. Yeah, they have the solutions and they understand where I'm coming from when I decide to tell this story. Let me get my little tripod right quick. I'm having my tea. I put some peppermint in there. My phone off. I'm having my black chai tea. Ooh, I'm in here moving stuff around. You know what? I still gotta go get my damn tree. I gotta go get my Christmas tree. Let me hurry up. Get my ass off the phone. I'm going in the morning. I'm not going tonight. You folks out here crazy. I ain't going back out there. I done got my snacks. I'm going to see what I'm going to cook right quick. And that's going to be it. But let me finish telling this story. So, this story goes back a little bit because the first time I seen this gentleman, it wasn't me working in a clinical setting. It was just me working in a, little side gig, hustle, whatever you want to call it, right? So I'm delivering a product. And it was a little odd the first time I met the person, but I brushed it off or whatever. And it's been a while since I had seen this person. So this particular day I went out. See, a lot of times, and this is dealing with elderly people. The sad part is this man has no family. I did not know this about him until he actually told me this. So essentially, his health had been failing and it had been declining quite fast to the point where he's not as mobile. He relies on his wheelchair to move around his house. His house is really not even set up, um, you know, to be wheelchair accessible. But he's doing the best the way he can, whatever the case may be, with no help. So just talking to him, and it was just some of the like I don't have the expertise to navigate the adult services sector. And that's something that I am currently working on. And so, with that being said, that's why I said this is for the professional people that are used to it, or the people that have experience that probably they had a parent that went through some stuff, and this ain't for everybody. So, anyway, he said, I'm 60 years old. I don't have any family. All of my family is gone. And I'm just looking at him like, what? So, it brought me back to a time where I've had family members that male family members that were in their last phases, um, going through uh, uh transitioning. Basically, I'm just say transitioning. They transitioning from whatever situation is going on in their body. I'm gonna leave it like that. I don't know what I don't know his. I don't even remember what he says diagnosed. I don't know. So basically, he's lost a substantial amount of weight. He's broken parts of his body that he said that they won't even do surgery on because he lost so much weight. Whatever the case may be is going on with him, right? Honey, I don't know who his previous advocate was. I don't know who was the last person that worked with him was. And I don't even know if the story is accurate. They need to be fired, in my opinion. Unless the story was told to me the way he want to tell it, because some people will actually refuse services, and then when things get so out of hand they'll act like they didn't. I've been around people like that, but 9 times out of 10 those are people with severely mental illness issues. So I had to really, just talk to him, engage him, ask questions, just listen to what he's saying, and just talk to him, have regular conversation with him, because if you think about it, he's still in his home. He should be treated as a person. Um, and for him to say the people said they refuse to, send him an aid, they won't send. So in my mind, I started thinking. I said the only time I really think about when people ain't sending nobody, baby, your house. Them people say they talk about how nasty you is. In my opinion, in my opinion. But I was thinking this in my head. I wasn't judging him. I just let him keep talking. He told me a few things, and I said, okay, well, you mean to tell me the advocate or nobody can come assess nothing? They can't come stand at the door, even if they don't want to come past the threshold. This is the situation. He can be in there for days or whatever at the time. Like he can barely move around his own home. He said at one point in time he couldn't even get up, and he had like a really bad bed sore. He shared a lot of different things, like basically talking about undies. I said these are the type of services he should have in place. I don't care, somebody's supposed, hey, Naomi, somebody is supposed to be around, a case manager, a patient advocate, somebody. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, what about your neighbors? Oh, my neighbor said I ain't they ain't come back over here. Da 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 da. I ain't gonna lie, he did admit, he said one time he did has, it was out of control in his house. He said, well, he got it cleaned up and things of that nature. So my mom is, in her 60s or whatever, and she still actually provides assistance, in home assistance to people. And it just bothered me. It just bothered my spirit so bad. So I had to meet up with her yesterday anyway. So I told her about it, and she was like, "You need to call APS. You need to call somebody." I said, "I'm gonna call APS and I'm gonna make the report." I said, but I'm thinking to myself, like, nobody, like, how does he fall under the radar like that? And nobody ain't called nobody. That man could have been in that house gone for a minute, and he could be in there for 2 months. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Nobody. And he has, where this man lives, he lives in a cul-de-sac. You have to pass all these houses to get to the end of his street. It's a small community. So I know everybody on that street know that man on that corner. Or are people that far removed to that? I don't know. I don't know. Let me get into it, because I can't talk about nobody neighbors, because it be like that in neighborhoods. Let me stop acting like I don't know that. Anyway. And just talking to him. And it was something, and like the first time I met him, he talked about being a scholar. He told me how he had 2 master's degrees. One of his was in theology, Christian. He's an ordained minister. He talked about, it was something else he talked about. Oh, this time he told me how high his IQ was. So with that being said, I was like, okay, that's what's up. But I also know back then, a lot of people were not diagnosed or on the spectrum. But I think he kind of, it could be an Asperger situation. So my thing is this: I feel like he should have at least had that type of evaluation to see what what fits his needs, because cognitively he does not. You know what I'm saying? I deliver Meals on Wheels and see so many of these cases. People don't look out for others anymore. You're right. And you know what that man said? And I was telling him about, with one of my relatives that passed away. And, basically physically their body was the same way, in their ending stages. And I told him what that person had going on. And that person, I told them about how that person told me when they looked over their life, they said they wish they would have smoked more than they drank. And when my relative told me that back then, I said, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, that's what's up, Naomi. She said, I'm still at the job. So I'm sitting there like, you mean to tell me y'all can't even pay nobody to come over here and see about him? Like, and I've literally met people that got at that stage in their life and they stopped paying their insurance because they was like, look, what am I paying for? You know what I'm saying? I get it. It's a lot of things that go on. But some people honestly give up because they don't have anybody. and they don't have nothing to, really, really. And then one thing he said, well, if I, oh my God, I ain't even gonna say that, but I'm glad I called the people because that was a major cry for help. It was a red flag. I'm not gonna repeat that, but it had something to do with a bottle. Y'all know how that go. And I was like, well, I don't think that's a good idea. I said, because even if you did that, nobody would even know you in here. We need you some services. So basically, he said something to the effect of they told him if he could not go to the doctor, something about going to the doctor and he would not be able to get an aid or something. I don't know. I don't know. And it could be his understanding of how it works. But you got to think about it physically. If you're not up to par, mentally you start to decline as well. You know what I'm saying? So, and there was some things like that he talked about, and I was like, he need more services than he's willing to admit. And he was just like, you know what? I just want to watch TV. And in so many words, he was like, and go in peace in my home. So, listening to my mom, she said, well, I was going to do it anyway, but she was just like, that could have been me. And I'm just looking at her like, and I got quiet. And I was like, damn. And I ain't gonna lie, yesterday and on to today, it really, really, really effed my head up. Just a smidgen, just a smidgen. I jump up here and I still be able to go and do all the things that I normally do. But those some of the stories that people had to literally and when that worker called me back, she called me back pretty fast. I had to leave a message. She was very nice. She was very you know, and before we got off that phone, I said, and I thank you for everything that you do. I said, because I have experience in certain areas of human services. I said, but this area right here is different. I said, and I thank you for being there. And she said, well, I thank you for calling. She said, because she even told me, she said, well, somebody did call back on, let me get it right. It was at least about 10 days ago, right? I don't think they've been over there. I really don't. And I don't think they investigated. So this leads me to say, it's sad that, and this is, and I hate to say it this way. I really do. This is why a lot of people, as regular citizens, don't report things because a lot of people don't listen and they don't take it serious. It took for me to tell that lady, drop all these credentials, for now an investigator to actually investigate. When somebody told you November the 23rd, this man's condition today is the 3rd. Ain't nobody go knock on the door. He said all his family and all his friends gone. I can't, the stuff that he talked about, I would not even say online, baby. Okay, because I will keep certain things in confidence, even though I'm not binded to him no type of way or nothing like that. This was just a regular conversation, a citizen to a citizen or whatever the case may be. But it's certain things I would never repeat, baby. That's crazy. That's I was like, you know what? They might be, they might not have the resources, right? They really push the needs of the elderly aside. Those meals I deliver are some of the only meals some of them get. What, Pepper? I thank you for volunteering. I do. Cause when he was talking to him, he said something. He probably don't even have an appetite because, certain stages that things get into. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna say this without having to say too much. I think the main thing that's keeping him going is his drizzank. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. His drizzank. Because that is one of the things that the body can get dependent on. So much so, if you don't have it in 24 hours. And yeah. I done heard stories of people having to have a sip in the hospital. Yeah. Because that's what they had for a very long time. And that reminds me of that family member that said they wish they would have did something else other than drink as much. Oh yes, I worked in a hospital and I experienced it. They needed. Yeah, he needed. Because let me tell you something. This one thing I will say. He had everything a person would need to go to the DMV available to get a drink. You know how when you go to the DMV and they be like, "Oh no, you need your social security card. You need your passport. You need your birth certificate." He had all that stuff lined up on the table to verify he was old enough for his drink. Yes, he did, girl. Yes, he did. He had it lined up on the coffee table. Okay. I was like, damn. So, That's why you see me sipping tea a lot. And I'm being honest. Baby, I got my little my black chai tea. I had my peppermints at the bottom. And I poured my hot water over it. I'm gonna drink me a little bit of soda this afternoon. But I'm gonna give you an example. He When I first met this gentleman, it was a while ago, the first thing that he would have come to his door was 90 beers. The first of the month, he had three 30 packs at his doorstep. Yes, ma'am. Yes, that's right. I brought them, and maybe a little, a little bottle of ketchup, a little bottle of sriracha or something like that. Yes, ma'am. He can't even drink like that no more. Yeah. So yeah, I was just like, that was the first time on that service that it had to be returned. And because I could not return it, I remember it vividly. I dropped it off with one of my uncles because it wasn't nothing I drink. I would never. No, I don't drink beer, and let alone I think it was Bush. I went and took my uncle 90 bills. My uncle was so happy to get them 90 bills, and drinking ain't even his thing. He liked to smoke, but he'll drink every now and then. And I was like, who the hell? It was just him there. And I remember another time, 90 bills. Oh, we're gonna leave him alone. We're gonna leave him alone though. But yes, I'm gonna keep him in prayer. Um, Regardless, he was still in good spirits. Um, he told me, he said, I know Christ. And what else could I say? What else could I say? Um, Very nice man. He could have been nasty. He could have been like, you black bee, get out my. He ain't do none of that. He ain't do none of that. Um, he was very nice. Um, it was just sad. It was just sad. It was just sad, y'all. It was sad. But I've had to go into worse situations. I can honestly say right now. But I guess because it been so long, I was just like, wow, it's worse. This world is effed up. They know this man over here. They know he over here. But anyway, I'm gonna sip my tea. Um, I felt like all I could do was my part. And my part was, you know, to intervene the way I know I can, but I know I can't overstep my boundaries. Um, I don't know, but they said that they had a call over 10 days ago about him. So that means somebody else was concerned. Because, some people will go do a job and don't give a daggone, or, right, or whatever, and things of that nature. This man said, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say, child. He had 2 boxes of kitty litter, but he ain't had no cat. What y'all think he finna do with that kitty litter, y'all? What y'all think he gonna do with it? Y'all know what he gonna do with it? I know what he gonna do with it. Anyway, let me get ready to go. I'm about to go. It's not a funny situation. It's just like, I don't know. I just had to say something about it. I wasn't gonna sit here and just be like, because it was on my mind, and I was like, dang, you know, man, listen, I don't know, but I'm about to go finish sipping my tea. Oh, I bought me some crackling. I'm about to go crunch on them and sit my ass down somewhere. But it was nice talking to y'all. Uh, I don't know if I'm gonna be back again today. That was mentally exhausting. Um, it was. Yeah, it was mentally exhausting because I was just like, you mean to tell me he had a whole patient advocate? She done said she ain't coming back over there. Let me go find me something to cook, y'all. I got to figure this out. That's enough to make you want to get you a drink for the day. But I was like, baby, I don't want no drink. I don't know. I don't want no drink. I just want to drink my tea. I got me a little tea ball. I ain't even take the tea ball out. Child, just here to drink my drink. Cause it was it was a situation where you had to give as much information as you possibly could. Ooh, excuse me. Based on observation, the engagement, what you've seen, um, it was a lot of things that had to be relayed in a manner for this lady to understand. It was his shoulder. I'm getting this last thing. I'm finna go. I'm finna go. It fucked me up, y'all. I ain't gonna hold you. It fucked me up. He had already lost a lot of weight, right? So he probably weighed every bit of 80 pounds, if that. And he had on a robe. He pulled the shoulder out. This was turned forward like that. I was like, yo, this man in a lot of pain. Like, what? I was like, oh, um, now I don't know if he a veteran. I don't know. I'm gonna let them find all that out. But baby, he said that arm was broke, this leg was broke, this. I said, but how you do all that? He said, I tried to carry one of them kitty litters in here and I fell off the porch. Baby, I'm finna go, y'all. I, let me show y'all the pants from earlier and then I'm about to go. I'm gonna show y'all. Because I went ahead and hung them up because I got to do a picture. Let me turn it around. I'm about to go. They came out nice. I put them on the little mannequin thingy. But those is pajama pants I had made earlier. We was live and stuff like that. And I'm going in my room. I'm gonna go sip me some tea and try to mind my business some more. Cause I don't know what to think. I just don't. I didn't know what to think. I was just so that's why I said this conversation ain't for everybody. But you know, the people that engage, they know what I'm talking about, and they see certain things a certain way. And even when I had the conversation with my mom, she was telling me about uh one of her previous people she had. She said it wasn't a situation of that person being nasty, but they did have a lot of things in their home, and that person got a crew and got the house more livable for their own self, and then they were able to have somebody come in, but I'm pretty sure some things had to be set in place. And I just I'm hoping that that is putting things a step further into getting into a better situation for this gentleman. Because, like he said, he'd rather be in his home, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because there's plenty of people that want to be in their home and they want to be able to do what they want to do. But again, even if he had somebody come see him 2 or 3 hours a day, they left and they came in 5 days a week. That's better than nothing. They could check his mail for him. Um, Something. help him, get the supplies he need in his home, medical supplies. Maybe he can't order them, or just the things that your family would be able to do for you. And I've come across a lot of people, but it was like a company. I want to say it was called Jewish Family Services, and they kind of ended up being like the guardians for certain people, but that was in the mental health field. That was one of the places that I've experienced. And they will come in and provide services like case management, and they would assist the people with navigating things throughout that system. But like I said, that's a whole different system I know nothing about, but I know that system has many, many resources. So even if they had 5 or 6 options for him, one of those options they can, customize and tailor it to where he can stay in his home, and he can still, somebody can come by or whatever. That, oh my God, that remind me of when my friend hit somebody. I'm not gonna get into that. So, uh, I don't know. I'm ready to go. I said I was gonna go before, but I mean it this time. But I thank y'all for listening. And I thank you for engaging, Pepper. I appreciate it because I just I don't understand. I don't understand. I do understand. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because it's a lot of baby boomers. It's a larger amount of people in that age bracket. Um, it is a large number. I get it. Well, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Oh, my shoulder. Goodness.